Are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto, episode 1183. Today is Monday, January 22nd, 2024, and I'm King saying it backward as usual.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay, here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community, Monday through Friday at 10ish.
At 10ish, in today's top stories, JP Morgan CEO dig on Bitcoin and Satoshi sparked Bitcoin hodl rumors on Reddit. CBDC opponent Ron DeSantis ends U.S. presidential run. I was going to try to talk through it. It wasn't going to work. Online pastor charged in worthless crypto scam says God made him do it. I don't know why. I just hear like a Southern accent with that when he says God made him do it. It could also be a city slicker, though, out there, but I just hear a Southern accent when he says God made him do it. Dogecoin hit 7-day high as X payments account gains 100,000 followers in a day. And global crypto user base surpasses 500 million in 2023, says Crypto.com report. But first and foremost, Bitcoin Zay, what is going on with these prices?
Oh, yeah. So taking a look at our prices for today. Bitcoin sitting at $40,576 is down 2.8% over the last 24 hours. Ethereum at $65 down 4.5%. Binance Coin at $310 down 2.7%. Solana sitting at 87.14 is down 6.6%. XRP at 52 cents down 4.7%. Cardano at 49 cents is down 4.7%. Dogecoin at 8 cents is down 4.8% over the last 24 hours. And coming in number 10 is Avalanche at 3064, down 7.9%. And some of our recently added coins, I mean, one of these is already pissing me off because I got a 3-year-old daughter, and Baby Shark is the only thing I swear I've been watching for the last 2 years.
Man, I know about that song for being on set with kids. Baby
Oh
Shark,
my
baby.
God.
Oh, man.
It's
I'll be on
all,
set with
all in your
kids.
head all day. You start singing it out of nowhere, but Baby Shark, worth literally a penny with a hole in it. Mars and Troheim. Also, some other recently added coins include Manta Network, Minu, and Pith Network. So those are the trending coins. And the fear and greed index for today is about 56, which is neutral. So it's like it swung one way where it was in the 70s, and now we're starting to see it kind of level out because Bitcoin's price isn't moving much. So a lot of people are just sitting on their hands at this point.
Hey, I'm crying about this new person you added to the stream, man. All right, we gotta hit them pop-up boxes. No, I mean, yeah, so all's well, Bitcoin, to me, this is sideways movement for the most part. Honestly, to me, sideways is 38 to 45. Like, I
Yeah,
know those are different floors and ceilings for some people, but that's chop. That's all chop. The
that's
next
how.
big one, yeah, 55, 60s is when we need to start paying attention. I thought we were almost there. Just ran out of steam though. And what's going to be crazy is going to see like, will the happening have the same effect it's always had as we've seen it, as far as the slow build up afterwards and explosion the following year? I've always said and held to that. Yeah, I think so, but it's also like, man, it's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in the market. Bitcoin isn't as new and as fresh, again, the last happening we had NFTs. Before that, we had NFTs and DeFi, and before that, we had ICO. So it was like, if there's not a new big thing, if ETFs is the big thing, and that's cash in, cash out for the most part, will we see the same kind of uptick as we've already saw previously? It's going to be interesting, I think.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know one thing too, when you talk about trends, people can do technical analysis till they blue in the face, but one of the basic trends is the halving itself. Like you said, 2016 was the halving, right? And then the bull market came 2017. Like you said, it's just slow grind up and then bull market. Same thing. 2020 was sort of an aberration because of COVID. However,
True.
2021,
Good
20,
point. Good point. Yeah.
2021 is when we went, actually went back to those levels and passed it, on a bull run. So that was sort of aberration. Same thing seems like it's happening now. 2024, slow grind up, sideways movement, and then 2025, it'll probably bang out. As far as with the ETFs, that seems to be the biggest thing now. But you got ordinals, you got ETFs, you got swaps becoming more sophisticated, HTLC and all this. I mean, you got a lot of different technologies coming. So sure, I mean, it's always something every bull run, but I don't think it'll be overnight. Definitely with the cash in, cash out Bitcoin, but scarcity always plays a role.
See, and that's the part. That's the thing
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, regardless of all the other noise, supply and demand, like you said,
Mhm.
scarcity. So
Yep.
it's gonna be, but I mean, to me, this is where TA doesn't matter. It's like we are we're going against not only a financial product of this magnitude, but they have businesses backing them with real humans. It's like, no, we about to push this down the throats of everyone in middle
Oh, yeah.
America. Like, so
I just seen like 5 commercials. They already
right. So it's like that's where it's like I know what the charting should say, the trends, supply, demand, scarcity, the principles. I know what that says, but also it's like, I mean, human intervention has been going crazy lately. Like, are people going to be Bitcoin and crypto out at this moment? Maybe that was part of the plan too, to take the win out the sales of the halvening by having the ETF build up an announcement right before. And I was like, oh, we just had a Super Bowl. And it's like, well, here's the Pro Bowl. It's like, we just had a Super Bowl.
Who cares?
So right. So I don't know. We'll see how that happens. That works out. But hey, all interesting things, especially we're talking about price. Regardless, the price is going to stand strong, people. We're just talking about it's going to have this, if anything, a part-time 20 to 30% dip because people are like, this is taking too long, or will it just aggressively start to increase like we see out there every happening? Regardless, it's going to go up. I mean, even when we get that small dip throughout the years, it's going to go up. Yes, let's go Lions, Wisdom Bars. What up, though? You already know. Listen, we got to celebrate while we can. What's going on? Patrick Walter, what up, though? Lord Smith, we got to celebrate when we can. I was telling Bitcoin today, all the real Lions fans know we're not getting too excited, okay? We're just happy right now. We understand whatever happens next. We're definitely here to support. Trek, what's going on, PFC Wheels? Make sure you check out Weekend Crypto this morning as well as Stack. They were back to back this morning. Great shows. JB, Kadeem K, Chris Minka, of course. Assets and arbitrage over the weekend killed, as well as Black Rue. Make sure you check those out. Let's see. Chris Minka, Hyben 17. How many developer? Tinfoil toboggan on today. Oh man,
Yeah.
you do
Oh,
got it
yeah.
on.
Got the
What will
tinfoil
be
toboggan.
easy? Ron B. Full moon on the 24th. Be ready for a major turnaround with a lot of things. Exiting Pluto retrograde. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this one. The 24th. You got to remind me. Is that that's in 2 days? That
Yeah.
will be Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday.
Mhm.
Cool. And be ready for a lot of the private sector and banks flipping on their heads. Mass population unexpected, but if you're tapped in, you'll be ready for it. All right, Milto, Smitty Farms. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Let's get into a top story of the day. JP Morgan CEO dig on Bitcoin. And Satoshi spark Bitcoin hodl rumors on Reddit. Bitcoin Zay, what's going on with this story here?
Oh yeah. So of course Reddit is sort of like the good friend that you don't want to introduce to anybody else. He got a lot of good information, but sometimes it might be a little too much. But Reddit has been sort of like the friend to a lot of people who are on Twitter. So Jamie Dimon's recent attack on the Bitcoin ecosystem made Redditors believe that it may be a calculated move to drive the price down to accumulate more Bitcoin for itself. What else is new, man? I mean, we've been talking about this.
Wouldn't be his first time.
It wouldn't be the first time. Weaponizing the media in order to drive the price down so that you can get as much Bitcoin as possible, scare some people out of the market, get GBTC to sell you some more, whatever it takes. They're gonna do it. And he went on CNBC and repeated many widely debunked criticisms of Bitcoin, including the possibility of his creator Satoshi Nakamoto returning to the community to erase Bitcoin from existence. The executive also argued that Bitcoin does nothing and laid out criminal use cases for the asset. Again, these are arguments that have been debunked now for maybe 8 years, maybe 10 years. I mean, we're getting to the point where somebody saying this, you just know they're disingenuous. Some of the arguments that he made, he says that cryptocurrencies that do something, they might have value. Then there's this one thing that does nothing. I call it pet rock, the Bitcoin or something like that. Come on, man. Whenever somebody break up with a girl and they're like, yeah, or what's her name? Jessica or something like that, whatever her name is. Like, bro, you know her name, man. Stop acting like that. It has some use cases. Everything else is people trading among themselves. That's pretty much the entire financial market, Jamie. The entire financial market is people trading amongst each other. That's all finance is trade. The Redditors, they said that many old investors listen to Diamond. The community member believes that the negativity directed towards BTC might be an attempt to lower the price as he stacks himself. We already have evidence of JP Morgan being a sponsor for the BlackRock ETF, as well as being involved with JPM Coin, sponsoring Ethereum. conferences and meetups. They've invested in a few different projects. So this is pretty much nonsense, and they're just doing what they've done in traditional finance: weaponize the media to drive the price down and get more for yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, I was thinking about this too. It's crazy because this is probably season 5 or 6 of the show, essentially.
Mhm.
So people aren't watching the same episode too, especially about Diamond the Dino, whatever. Just looking at it from a different angle. Again, going back to the trend line of Bitcoin this year after the halving, and next year is going to be interesting to see if it follows the same trend line. Then that is what it is for forever. The scarcity will always win out versus like I said, the man-made events, because things like this, he's literally said this now like 2 or 3 times. Actually, around the halving too. When you look at it, he did during 2017 ICO phase.
Yeah.
Like he said this a few times at pivotal times in Bitcoin's history. So is it that much new volume coming in where it's literally like, you know how it goes, fellas? Every 3 or 4 years we go on that fishing excursion and we just, we fish for the whole village and we freeze some, and there's enough for people to eat good for the year. Like, we're gonna go get the best tunas and we're gonna sell them back, make money. Like, is it that easy? Is that how the bankers are looking at this? Or is that just the attempt, and for the first time we're about to see that volume not be there? Or it's the same volume where it's like, all right, you didn't get anybody new. You have people who are already interested. But at the end of the day, he's repeating the same thing. Like, Bitcoin's criminal. Like, he's staying on his message and on theme for years now, honestly.
Hey, you know what I just found? It's funny you say that he does it every 3 or 4 years, because 2017 is the first time we heard something, right? I just found this article from 2021 where Jamie Dimon says he calls Bitcoin worthless.
Listen,
this is October 11th, 2021. He isn't a fan of Bitcoin because says that it's worthless. And then, of course, 5 days ago, he says Bitcoin is a useless pet rock. So literally every 3 to 4 years, Jamie Dimon comes out and is basically parroting what he has to. His overlords have told him to come out and say. It's a script. He's been reading it for the last 8 years now, 7 years now.
Yeah, it's just so that's interesting. But we'll see if it works again, I guess. I don't know. Dino the Diamond is back at it again. Can't stop, won't stop. All right, this is a story. I don't know. I was excited to see him actually run because he was bringing up CBDCs and crypto in general. But CBDC opponent Ron DeSantis and the U.S. presidential run, he got that tap on the shoulder and said, hey, look, we ain't going nowhere. We're here. You're still part of the family, but, maybe next year. Ron DeSantis ended his presidential campaign on January 21st, saying he had no path to victory and pledged his support to former U.S. President Donald Trump. Ooh, okay. Again, CBDC, central bank digital currency opponent Ron DeSantis has withdrawn from the race for the White House, according to an announcement on January 21st. The Florida governor stated he couldn't continue with the campaign lacking a clear path to victory. I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate the resources. We don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. Actually, shout out to him and his team for doing that instead of wasting people's time and resources and at the end, like, coming out with the L. So, way to kind of see it already and be like, hey, we tried. We tried to see how much support we would get. People, whatever reason, don't support it or don't want him right now. So, way to save on the time and resources of people. He shared the news in a 4-minute announcement on X endorsing presidential Trump. But again, the reason why we're really paying attention to this is because he would have vehemently been pushing back against CBDCs. Those are central bank digital currencies. Of course, the United States, or at least the Federal Reserve, is already trying to create one. Speaking of which, Jamie Dimon comment with blockchain in a moment I'll go back to. But I don't know. What are your thoughts about this? Like, now that we don't have another president in the race that's really pushing for crypto or CBDCs or anything like that, or either side.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the lesson that could be learned here is that you can't put lifts in your shoes, man. You can't wear heels and think people are not going to notice, brother.
Was that him?
That was him.
If I would have known that, I can't keep up with all. Man, I can't. At this point, I can't keep up with TV and reality with all this nonsense.
Hey, man, you can't be sitting on stage. Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You can't sit on stage with kitten heels and then try to convince people that you're gonna make a great president.
Right now,
but now I respect DeSantis a lot, just simply because he was the first governor to come out against the CBDC. and he was vehement against it. That's what I said. People can say what they want about his governorship and how he runs Florida,
Right.
but whenever there's some sort of hurricane or some sort of crisis, it gets solved quickly. When they talked about CBDCs, he was like, not here, which I respect, because that's one aspect of the Bitcoin market, is that, yeah, sure, you can like Bitcoin and you can like crypto all you want, but are you going to push back against the CBDC? Most people are not. They're just going to accept it and live with it, and then try to have them live side by side. I'm glad he came out and was like, no, not in this country. Forget Florida. He was like, not in this country. So I do respect him for that. Also, I think him and Vivek, I think they were testing the waters for 2028. I don't think either of them really thought they were going to win this year, but they wanted to see how much support they could get and how many people, how much they could basically garner enough votes. I think this is like most politicians, this is a tryout to work in Trump's staff. When you run for president or run for office,
I was thinking about that.
It's like,
too.
all right, well, I know I ain't gonna be president, but I might get chief of staff.
Yeah.
I know I ain't gonna be president, but I might get, head of this department. So I think it's just a tryout for that, because that inches them a lot closer. I don't know if he'll be VP. I think Vivek will probably end up being closer to being a VP. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it seems like the presidential race is already won. DeSantis has bowed out gracefully, which is good. Hopefully, he'll keep his word with the CBDCs in Florida, because he's still a politician. I don't believe none of you niggas ever. But I'll listen to what you say, and we'll see if it happens. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. Really quick, going back to JP Morgan, one last thing I forgot to mention was that I did hear some of his little tirade. And the thing he did mention once again, part of the trend line. Speaking of which, if you're gonna do TA out there, I don't want to hear about no TA that doesn't include things like that. I want to hear, did JP Morgan say something this year or not? Because that's going to affect the trend lines. All right. At this point, that's an indicator. But no, he mentioned that he said something along the lines of, I'm summarizing here, but I've always said that blockchain technology is superior technology, good technology is here to stay. And I'm just like, if only there were literally one person in the room to be like, which blockchain are you referring to? Like, stop doing that. And that's what made me think about the fact that he's just doing this, casting this wide net, possibly to get the cash new value, because it's like he's literally saying the buzziest buzzwords and the phrases, and still people are just like, oh, okay, he's right about blockchain technology. It's like, somebody ask him which blockchain, please. But it's just like,
please.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Let's see. CeeLo said you can't be pro banning words and anti CBDC. Is that what he is? Is he pro ban? I don't know. I don't know
if he's banning words, but like I said, I just told you, I was like, I don't believe anything politicians say. I just want to see it happen. So take with a grain of salt.
When you said that, I was thinking the same thing beforehand. I was like, why doesn't he just go holler at Trump? But then, like around the same moment, you start saying this looks like he's auditioning for Trump, and I was like, okay, this all makes sense. We see. See what you saw? Hey, I made a little noise. Let me come holler at you. We bring my team, your team, and we make something happen. All right, let's see. Oh, Chris, real quick. Chris Minka said TA is best for buying, in my view. Always have limits for buying opportunity. I agree with that as well. I definitely agree with that. All right. Let's see what else do we have going on. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. I'm getting excited now. I saw the headline of this one. Zay told me about this headline, and I read that, and I was excited. This is going to be fun. Online pastor charged in worthless crypto scam says God made him do it. Bitcoin Zay, what is going on with this? I don't even trust online pastors. Kinda. I don't know. I guess that's fair. You can be an online pastor. I don't know. What's going on with this online pastor?
Hey man, if your
do they ask for money online? Do they take tithes? There shouldn't be any tithes. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
If your sanctuary is Zoom, I ain't gonna be listening to much you got to say. I'm sorry. But online pastor Eli Regalado says he sold over $3 million in tokens to his community because the Lord told him to give his followers a 10x return. Oh man. So
this sounds like the beginning of a movie.
Oh, this is hilarious. Colorado-based online pastor who has been charged with fraud for selling a worthless crypto says he only did it because the Lord told him to give his followers 10x returns. In a strange 9-minute video he posted on INDX Coin's official website, founder and pastor, told users that the charges being leveled against him and his partner were true. The charges that Caitlin and I pocketed $1.3 million, and I just want to come out and say those charges are true. So he 10x himself, but not so much for his followers. He was talking about his role in issuing and marketing a sham token called INDX coin, according to a statement from Colorado Securities Commission. We allege that he took advantage of the trust and faith of his own Christian community, and he peddled outlandish promises of wealth to them when he sold them essentially worthless cryptocurrencies. And that's something hard to have to swallow, because like my grandmother and other people who are deep into the church, they'll listen to the pastor before they listen to the president. Honestly, like their pastor says something, they with it. Like, all right, pastor said it, I'm with it. Like, I'm going with that. So if he comes to them and says, hey, I got this crypto and it could help make us rich and blah, 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 it's kind of hard for parishioners to be like, no, because he's coming in the name of God. However, for those of us who think critically and is like, nah, bro, I'm sorry, you sound good, but I'm not with that. Would have done a little bit more research and seen that it was just like other ICOs and other crypto token and whatever, pump and dumps and rugs. But again, online pastor, you kind of got to take what you get, because you listening to an online pastor tell you about INDX coin. Like, come on, man.
Are you reading this? Some of these comments.
Let's see.
Man, long story short, I'll just summarize it. It's like people still riding with him. So I don't know what's in this video message, if it's an actual apology or him explaining how everything ain't his fault and it's somebody else's fault. But the comments are like, I can't imagine what you're going through. Prayers going up.
Bro,
good job.
That's what I'm telling you. These people and their pastor, they won't let it go. Bro, they absolved Eddie Long. They will absolve pastors of anything. Like they were still in the church after the and if you don't know who Eddie Long is, do your own research. But they absolved him. If you look up what he was doing, and then you see the fact that he still at half his church was still attending up until he passed away, you'll see what I mean when I say, like, there's people that they'll listen to the pastor before the president. So this video is nothing more than him asking for forgiveness, I think. And then they're gonna come, they're gonna forgive him, and then he's gonna keep moving on. But he got to deal with Colorado Securities Commission.
Was really what's funny, listen, I just saw some. I'm so great. Oh, here we go. All right, listen. This is shout out to the Navy too, and the military in general, different branches help. Man, I'm good at reading body language. Listen, the way he's about to hunch his shoulders and shake, I'm about to turn the volume on. I know he's saying some BS. Watch this. Hold on. I just want to wait for the shake. The hunch and the shake is coming right now. There you go. Starting to raise his voice. Look, his head going back a little bit. It was a hunch and shake. I just want to see it, because he's gonna say something crazy in this moment. Where was the hunch and shake at, man? I'm telling you. Hold on. We're about to push. I'm about to push it. Yeah, here we go. He's shaking a little bit. It's good.
Was coming in, we were sowing. Money would come in, we'd tithe, we sow, more money would come in. And so we were just always under the impression that God was going to provide, that the source was never ending, that God was doing a new thing, and that we had nothing to worry about, and we had the track record to prove it. Well, when the exchange hit and things started falling apart, that's when, I mean, I'll just be honest.
Then I call it though.
Yeah,
bro, I'm very good at that. I would say that. Listen, here it is. Listen,
hey man, that's what happens when you get your degree in theology and not finance. Bro, like, oh, we just thought the number would go up forever. Like, no, man.
I know, right? Listen, I forgot what it's called. It's like a micro something, but you can watch them. They do the what was it? Whoa, why are you moving so much? What just happened in your mind?
Off the shoulders, my guy.
Yeah, it's almost like a chemical thing where it's like, because you're lying about something. So it's like the chemical and it's showing externally on your body, and you're trying to hold it, but it's like, no, you did something weird. What's going on? So that was pretty funny, but it's unfortunate. Hopefully those people get their money back. And it looks like his partner Caitlin is his wife or something, because they have the same last name. So the same old thing. We've seen the story, but hey, like you said, I saw the comments just now. It looks like there will be people who believe him. God does forgive, and they're gonna make sure he's whole again. So
hey man, and it's not even the worst, because there's people that have created Jesus coin and God coin and Holy Ghost coin and a bunch of religious other coins that they've sold to people. So this isn't even the worst. This is probably just the most, I guess, out there and mainstream, simply because he made a video about it and he admitted to it. The other ones were just somebody in North Korea probably created some random coin and threw it on the exchange.
Yeah, won't be easy. It's like a micro expression for sure. Let's see. They said same with old school Irish folks, but if God created a crypto, imagine the wallets we would get, and the icon would be beautiful. Catholics too. We are in the age of grifters, and people get conditioned by religions to succumb to grifters. I agree with that. Let's see. Some of the comments be funny. Dogecoin hit 7-day high as X payments account gains 100K followers in a day. What's going on with that, Bitcoin Day?
Oh yeah. So if you were on Twitter, you might have saw X payments over the weekend. A new account on Twitter just got created. Here it says traders have again raised hopes over Dogecoin after a newly created payments focused account for the platform quickly gained traction. And I do want to say I was one of the first, I believe, like 2,000 out of the first 2,000 people to follow the X payments account. As soon as I saw it, the first thing I thought was Dogecoin is about to go up, and I was correct. It climbed 12.8% in a 9-hour window between late January 20th, Saturday night, and hit a 7-day high in the early hours yesterday morning on Sunday. Literally watching it live because, again, like I said, once it got out, most people are speculating that Dogecoin will be the preferred currency of X. I don't think it will be the only currency. Even if Dogecoin is used, it won't be the only one. I think they are trying to figure out Lightning on there as well, so expect that to be coming. But for those who are speculating about Doge, I would not be surprised to see a 10x gain in Doge. Once the bull market commences with Bitcoin, and Elon puts out all he has to do is drop. He really just has to put a picture of Doge. Like, he doesn't even have to tweet it anymore. Put a picture of Doge, and it's going to pump.
Right.
So that's those bags we always say is like, hey man, if you're a true DGen, Dogecoin is the old school DGen. Yeah. That's like the first of it. Should be called DGen coin. It shouldn't even be called Dogecoin anymore. But literally jumped from 7 cent to 9 cent. Quick 12% gain. If you were watching it. Do you think if he made, let's just say, if he made Dogecoin the only payment option on X, do you think people would actually use it?
My thing is on X in general, what would you be using it for? If you turn it into like a Cash App type of thing, and then of course you know how the game is about to go. Like, it's so funny. We know how the game's gonna go. You turn into a Cash App type with the X motherboard of being able to communicate, which I get, it makes sense. Payment platform, text messaging platform, you can go crazy with it. You can make it really a line app from there. So if you were to go that far, but just keeping it at Cash App, the next thing introduced would be, okay, we're not going to create our own token because that doesn't, whatever, it's too much scrutiny, but we use Dogecoin for 5% off of everything or something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, he owns the bags of it. We know what's going to happen next. Eventually, those bags will get sold. Market will crash. We don't know what happened, whether Twitter or X survives or not. Who cares? So that's my thing. It's like, can it work? Yes, because it is popular enough people know about it, and it does work. We know that. And I think there's enough, and they won't have to scale, because the value of X, especially once it turns to a financial thing, that's kind of boring. I don't think, when I hear there's like the underground side of X and Twitter or whatever, where some freak stuff going on, I highly doubt that's going to exist if it becomes like a Cash App version, because it's versus.
So, well, they just sort of banned it. Like, they started trying to.
Oh, did they? I didn't. But
they're trying to. Yeah. I don't think they're really going to ban it, because honestly, some of those, lewd sites or
but accounts, it makes sense to.
They make a lot of money, but if you're going to introduce payments, you're going to have to clean it up. And that may happen, but they've been holding up a lot of these social media, is the fact that they get viewers to go and click and spend hours looking at their accounts based on their lewd activity. But we'll see. I mean, I don't think Doge can hold up by itself.
Well, that's my point. So it's like, and not even from like a regulation standpoint, just from the people who do that, their standpoint is like, it's not going to be cool anymore. Like, man, I ain't about to be on here lit at 3 a.m. and somebody else talking about stocks next to me. So I think they'll venture away as well. But the point is, if he can create that environment where it's more like of a Cash App with Twitter threads or whatever, then I can see Dogecoin actually working on the platform. Short term, like 5 to 7 years into the big rug pull. But if it's not like that, and he just keeps it as is, it's like, I don't understand why would you be using it? I just don't get that part. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, putting on my tinfoil toboggan, what I would say is Elon is basically creating a learning language model for a super advanced AI. He's getting everybody's KYC to get verified. You basically are pumping all of your information into the matrix.
Now
so he has all of it. Grok just came out, the AI, which is still in development. So basically just giving all our information to him, to Elon, and he's going to turn into the Superman or whatever, Batman overlord, who's gonna be is like basically Bruce Wayne, who runs everything. So yeah, we just keep giving all our information to Elon. It's all good. I'm sure he knows what to do with it. He's going to Mars. We'll be there by the year 2100 or something like that. So people will look back and be like, oh, that was the start of it. You mean to tell me when he was collecting everybody's names and collecting all your payment information and drawing everybody in with AI, you all didn't realize he was collecting all this information to use against you in the future? And of course, people are going to be like, yeah, well, that's what we were doing. But that's kind of why I haven't got verified for real, because I'm like, man, data is very valuable. It's like oil, and we just giving it away freely. But he's smart. He's a businessman. He's just letting it happen as it happens.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He's already talked about all the AI stuff. This is a free way to collect information to put into like boom. Especially, what if you already have an AI program or some software already created where all the new incoming information inputs itself, so you don't even have to manually go in there or have anybody do it at this point with data points. It literally just siphons through itself. Has it experienced or seen this type of data point? Yes, then this gets thrown out to save space. If it hasn't, it gets inputted. Boom. Like that's sentient learning AI right there.
Oh yeah, we well on our way. Somebody commented and asked about real estate. Who is that? Steady Stacking.
Oh, okay, I saw that.
Yeah, he was like, "What's y'all thoughts on home ownership versus renting? Tired of hearing older people pushing buying so much. Y'all was buying when shit was 150K. You can't relate. You're right. The conversations I've had when it comes to real estate people, I always tell them, I said, look, I'm not buying a house until I can buy the house. I'm not a big 30-year mortgages. I'm definitely not a fan of these new interest rates that are coming. And as far as maintaining a house as ownership, you got to pay property taxes. You got to fix everything that happens to the house. You got to cut grass every day. You got to fix the panels and wash the windows and wash all the sides and maintain it for years and years and years. All of that costs money. However, if you have the ability to rent but also stack your investments, that's probably the best way to go. Because honestly, I mean, buying a house is not what it is. The American dream of buying a home and being able to work, because you used to be able to have one job, have a family, have a house, have 2.5 kids and a gate, and then living the American dream. But not so much anymore. I mean, houses starting at like 300K in low rural areas. We don't even want to talk about LA or Miami. You talk about that a million to start.
And that's what I'll say. So it will also depend too. It always depends on the situation, because if I weren't living in LA, I would, like, if I keep my LA income in a different state, then I probably would buy. So for example, if I were to move back to Detroit, I'll buy a house, but everybody knows the real estate there is like extremely cheap in surrounding area or whatever. So if you're in one of those situations where you're working online or remotely and you say are getting a New York or LA or a Miami, San Francisco type of salary or income you make, and you live in a smaller state, then yeah, you might as well go ahead and buy it and have that bones taken care of. But if not, then definitely no. I would say on that rent, try to find some affordable rent and then put the rest into all your investments and stocks. Because at the end of the day, at least you're liquid. Like I don't own a home outright. People are like, well, you renting whatever. I'm like, believe me, if something would happen right now, somebody will put me up. I'll find me a nice place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, yeah, I get the one side of it's like, well, but I will say, you know, it is always that feeling of like, like you do want your roots. You want to put your trophy closet up. You're not doing that in every place you rent type of deal. So I get where that comes from. But right now, people, the market is ripe. And it's not going to, it should have already crashed, honestly, like the overall market. The last time it happened was 2008. So while it's ripe, keep getting these gains as long as you can and stay in a position to where it does finally dip whenever that day will come. You can move money, assets, and make it work for you. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Oh yeah.
All right. Last but not least, just to end it on a great news story. Now, this information is coming from crypto.com. So we are taking it with a Satoshi or two, but global crypto user base surpasses 500 million in 2023, says crypto.com report. To me, listen, it is extremely hilarious how the Staples Center, the house that Kobe built, is named after crypto.com. I strongly feel like no one has done a deep dive, or maybe I haven't done the deep dive. I don't know, but it's just very interesting to see this. They definitely got the bankroll for sure. I mean, at this point, they've been operating. The Lakers won a championship. I mean, Lakers listen, they need the Lakers to go to a championship and win, or go to playoffs, deep in the playoffs, just to get another year or two worth of money. So when that investigation started, they're like, all right, hold on, everybody. No user funds are missing. They might have been missing 2 or 3 years ago, but right now we are whole.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, they had a report that came out that says that estimates the number of worldwide cryptocurrency users surged to 580 million people in 2023. They estimated this that the amount of crypto users increased by 34% last year, growing from 432 million to 580 million. Diving deeper into the statistics, Crypto.com reveals that Ether ownership rose from 89 million users to 124 million, while Bitcoin ownership increased from 222 million to 296 million people by the close of the year. Let's see. They look at on-chain data with a blend of parameters to count the number of global crypto owners. To me, that's kind of weird because are you looking at wallets? How are you paying attention to this? Like, I have how many wallets? I know you have how many wallets. So not sure how they come up with the number. But regardless, I would say the volume definitely has increased, which, again, is good because it doesn't matter where the capital come from. It doesn't matter if Bill Gates comes in with all his money or a billion people come in with $5 a piece. Like, the money's there regardless. So the important thing of this stat, I think, is that, hey, the capital came, the volume came, regardless if it was new or used volume. It increased dramatically last year by 34%. And hopefully we'll see that happen this year and next as well.
Oh yeah, and if you want a comparison to the global crypto user base compared to, you know, how far along we are as far as technology, when computers were first coming out, the year that we had 10% penetration with people having computers was 1991. So if you're thinking about how early this is, 10% penetration was 1991 for computers. We're in 1991 of Bitcoin. Like, think about that. That's how early we are. So I don't think people can fathom what happens 40 years, 50 years, 60 years down the road, because it's been 15 years. We only got 10% market penetration. People are like, all right, well, most people aren't using it yet, and they go, I'm like, yeah, because if you think about like the internet, how many people were using the internet in 1991? Yeah. How many people had a computer? How many people had a home computer? I mean, I thought people was rich in the 90s if they had a home
91, computer. People have home 2000. People have computers 2000, in 2000,
like,
man.
Yeah, I didn't get a home computer until probably like 2002 or something, like 2003, and even then, it was dial-up, and we had to share it. It was slow as hell. Like, it wasn't even a good computer. So that's what I mean with adoption, is that we're 10% penetration globally, and that's crypto overall. We're not talking about Bitcoin specifically. We're not talking about, you know, DeFi specifically. Like, those numbers are even way lower. So you're very early. Like, you're extremely early. Even hearing about these types of things at this point, just having the knowledge that exists, you'd be surprised how many people walk around and they're not in our bubble, so they don't even know all this stuff is happening. They don't know who Michael Saylor is. They don't know anything about BlackRock. They don't know Franklin Templeton. They don't know anything about decentralization and inflation. Like, they're not even thinking about that shit. So you're very early, and I think that report from Crypto.com is very telling of how early we are. Also, I do want to throw out there, I met the president of Crypto.com. That's the only employee I've ever met from Crypto.com.
Hey, maybe he does it all. He's the early Jeff Bezos. He's like, look, man, I'm up from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. working this thing.
That's what I said. I congratulated him on being stealth. Like, I was like, you all hit it pretty well. Y'all just kind of moved into the market. Because I remember going to San Francisco in 2017, and there was a Crypto.com ad on like the chairs and the like book. And I was like, who owns Crypto.com? Cause we kept saying, we was like, who owns it? Like, where did it come from? Then we found out that it was a rebrand of Monarch and all, you know, all that other stuff. So
I'm starting to forget, and I don't want to forget, but I'm starting to forget.
Nah, I'm never gonna forget, man. These people ain't rebranding on me, man. I've been here too long. It's like I didn't see the
that's what it was. They already done dirt. That's why I'm like, hold on, man. They have an NBA arena. I'm crying laughing.
You see what I'm saying now? They had a fake Visa MasterCard that they were gonna come out with.
I want to say
$1 billion and then turned into Crypto.com, and everybody forgot.
They might have damn near been one of the best altcoins we buy, which somebody asked us to bring back this series. I was like, we might jump into that, but they might have been one of our best altcoins we buy. And I think at the time they did well, but it also was just like, again, hype about technology, thinking everyone's moving with integrity. Man, didn't they have debit cards somewhere? They're supposed to have some cards or something.
Yeah, they had a debit card thing for the ICO.
Man. You got me talking to people about this. Yeah, man, they're gonna be bringing debit cards. You're gonna be able to spend your crypto. This is to come. Oh, no, get out of here, man. You go here. holding basketball tournaments and stuff. What's going on? AU tournaments. I'm over here talking about credit cards.
Let's see. It was funny too because when they were promising it, I remember people were asking about it, and I was like, "How the hell are they going to issue MasterCard or Visa?" And neither one of those companies are in partnership with them. Remember, people were saying they got a partnership with Visa. It's like, no, they don't have no partnership. They had a meeting and signed a MOU, but that's about it. They don't have no partnership with them.
Listen, it was a false partnership, and they said something along the lines of they were launching it worldwide, and I was just like, wait. How you gonna you already talked to everybody regulators? That was my thing. I was like, how do you surpass every regulator? I was like, nah, this is starting to sound funny now. There ain't no way you launching the same Visa in every country simultaneously. So I was like, nah, boy.
They didn't got regulation. Yeah, they didn't got you.
Yeah, but
with that one. That's hilarious.
No, Satoshi Slim, we didn't because not enough planning for it. So I do want to plan for this week. I'm going to look at the schedule because for BitCon and Discord, we want to make sure we check that out. I'm going to play it in Discord. So I'm thinking either Wednesday night or Friday night, actually. So our next show will be on Wednesday. Check in that morning for sure. Also posted in Discord, but I'm thinking either Wednesday or Friday night. I'll know for sure here in the next few hours as I get to planning. I might, listen, if you don't notice behind me, people, I'm wearing my knit hat and this hoodie. I'm cold. It's raining in LA. I can't do this birthday month and rain in LA anymore. We're talking about getting out of here for a week or two or something. So I might get out of here and go to some sunny spots somewhere. But yeah, we'll check. But I definitely want to check out BitCon. We're talking about this weekend. So other than that, any messages, Bitcoin Zay?
None for me. Have a good Monday, people. Start the week off strong.
All right, smash that like and share. And we will see you all Wednesday. Cheers.